beauties, it's your girl Cardia Stiletto Beauty. Thank you so much for stopping by. To my new beauties, thank you so much. I don't know what brought you here, but thank you anyway. But I do ask that you join the Beautihood, and it's very simple. They do 3 things. Click to subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you always know when your girl's posting. And to my returning beauties, thank you guys so much for coming back. The continued support means so much to me. And for all beauties that are watching, I ask that you watch this video in its entirety, and then and only then, if you like what you saw, give your girl a thumbs up. If there's anything that you feel like was a little shaky on, any questions, concerns, comments, recommendations, go in the comment section and flood me with it all, because that's where you and I connect on a personal level. I do read comments and I do post to as many as possible, but I get to all of them because right now our community is a little tight-knit. We're trying to burn it out. But the video, as you've seen on the thumbnail, as I say all the time, this is my, I don't recall me ever doing this, but this is my how did I get into makeup story. And we're doing this while we're playing with a little makeup. Majority of the stuff that I'm using is e.l.f. products. But so anywho, if you want to see how I got into makeup, what was that period of my life like, and how I created this stunning look, because if I say so myself, the bitch AIDS. Stay tuned. Okay, my beauty, so let's get started with this video. You see the eyebrows are done because we don't do eyebrows on camera, okay? I'm gonna eventually do an updated eyebrow routine so I can show y'all, but yeah. But let's get into this video. So, how did your girl get started in makeup? Well, before I can go forward, let me go backwards to who was Cardia prior to makeup, and why she, because believe it or not, I was very against makeup. So this goes back to early teenage years. Oh, and this video is also, like I said, it's going to be featuring a lot of e.l.f. products and some other little gems, but it's more so a get ready with me. But we're using Power Grip. Y'all already know. Y'all know the vibe. So yeah, I had early teenage years, low self-esteem. You've probably heard the stories before. Girl, self-esteem, forget low, non-existent. Girl, did not. So much so that I did not go outside. Oh, backtrack one more time. Sorry, y'all. I was born in the Bronx, New York. That's where I was born and raised, where I lived until I was 18. So yeah, like I was saying, I spent my time in the house. That was my comfort zone. That was my happy place. And yeah. And so then cut to a biggest part. So even though I was insecure, and it was just because I didn't think I was pretty, I thought I was ugly, all the stuff that comes with insecurities, especially as a teenager. But luckily for me, I had 2 beautiful people in my life at that time, which were my god sisters, Nige and Rakaya, or Fifi and Riri. They stepped in to help as much as they could, and I owe them so much thanks, because even though, I'm not gonna lie, it was not received, because I think had they been doing this, not came into life, but had they been trying to push this when I was old and ready to receive it, it would have meant more, or it would have shown more, but I wasn't able to receive it at that time. But it still means the world to me that they even, you know, tried to. But they did. So they loved on me and, you know, did their best to try to, you know, show me that I was pretty and that I was beautiful and all these other things. And again, I wasn't able to receive those back then. Damn sure wasn't. And so, but they still tried and do things like photo shoots and taking me out shopping and things like that to just help me realize how beautiful and pretty I was. And now we're gonna cut to my god sister Rakaya, who was the girly girl of the 2. She was very into makeup and hair, and one thing Rakaya did, she kept my hair laid. I wish I had pictures so y'all could see how she was laying my braids and all the shit, but she did. But she yeah, but what they did was they just loved on me. And so I would love to sit here and say, yeah, that propelled me. But no, it wouldn't be years after that that I would get into makeup. So now we cut to turn 17. So the year that I turned 17, a lot happened. Turned 17, well, I was going to turn 18. So turning 18. But before that, my mom passed away. Had to move with my grandmother, and me and my siblings pretty much separated. Then I turned 18, and then after that I graduated high school, and then I moved to Maryland. Talk about a time, and I did all of this in a span of like 7 months. So talk, baby, it was a time. It was a time to be had then. And so, yeah, now we're going to cut to graduated, moved to Maryland. Now, this is when makeup became, makeup was like, okay. So, pretty much, honestly speaking, then after my mom passed, I moved in with my grandmother, her mother, my maternal grandmother. And after that, graduated, and then I moved to Maryland with my aunt / godmother. Now, she is the big reason why I'm into makeup. So, and her name is Dorothy. But I called her godmommy for a very long time. Now I call her mama. Hold on one second, y'all. Okay, so like I was saying, Dorothy, aka godmommy, better known as mama. This is where makeup came into the world. So I want to say I was about 19 at the time. Now, before I get into my age, the one thing to know about Miss Dorothy Nell Townsend, well, Taylor, because she got married. She's a diva. That is, when you look up diva, her picture's there. When I talk about, and this is since I can always remember, this woman would be beat to the gods and dressed so fucking fly. Like, still do to this day. But she was just like the complete polar opposite of my mother, her sister, where she was like girly, but diva is like a diva. Like, she was giving dream girls. My mother was giving Yo-Yo, motherfucking MC Light, damn near motherfucking LL Cool J. Like, my mother also never wore makeup. I think she had one tube of lipstick. It was like this burgundy color. I wish I could find this so I could wear it, see if it was hyped up like she was. And she only wore it when she went to certain events. Hell, my mother didn't even wear dresses. So to go from that, and that's another big part of the makeup thing too. Being around my god sisters, it was only an occasion. Like, it was sporadic, like on the weekends, but it wasn't enough to where I was like, ooh, this is something heavily present in my life. Now cut to I'm moving with my mama, and it's every day. And so eventually, I remember her coming to me. It was like, I had to be like 19. It was like, oh, please let me do your makeup. And I was just like, no. And it was also too, because again, that goes back to the self-esteem. I still struggled to look in the mirror. I didn't think I was pretty. And for the longest time, because I grew up poor, I thought that beauty was about like having name brands and being able to afford clothing and stuff like that. Then I realized, no, once I could do those things, that wasn't beauty. The scarring was already done. So I want to spray. Yeah. So that wasn't beauty. Anywho, so what ended up happening was she was like, let me do your makeup and do it. And I was just like, no, because again, I didn't think that I should be wearing makeup. Because again, I still didn't think I was pretty enough to do so. And then she hit me with the, all right, why don't we do this? Let me do your makeup. If you don't like it, then we could just take it off. No harm, no foul, pretty much. But if you do like it, I'll buy you all the stuff. And essentially, she'll buy me my first makeup kit. So you don't gotta tease me with a good time. So I was like, okay, fine. And then it was also too, as excited she was. So now I was like, okay, we can do it. So I ended up agreeing to let her do this makeup. And I will say this, the process afterwards, I was pleasantly shocked and surprised, because I really end up liking most of it. There was some parts I did not like. I was some parts I can't remember exactly. Some parts were too heavy for me. But for the most part, I like the way my face looked. And so, true to her promise, once I showcased that I liked something, she was like, "Bet, let's do it." And we went to the store, and she bought me all this shit. And from there, and I also think that that was like really, really the birth of our relationship, because we bonded just off of makeup, and we still to this day that links us. Um, and she yeah, she definitely, I mean, that definitely kind of tethered us together. And yeah, so we did it. And then the one thing that I remember is playing with this stuff, right? But in playing with the makeup, and we're gonna get to this a little bit more, I started to, first thing that happened was being able to look in the mirror. Like, cause you can't do makeup without looking at yourself. I don't, well, I'm not saying you can't. I can't. Cause I'm sure there's somebody out there that's probably like, "Bitch, let me show you what you could do without seeing." Me personally, I can't. So, yeah. So now I'm go from not being able to look at myself at all to cut to like 5 years later, a bitch stays in the mirror doing makeup. And now, and the more that I play with it, the more that I practice, the more I wanted to learn. And one thing about me, baby, I love to learn. I love learning new shit. It's just in my DNA. I am obsessed with just learning. And I think that that is one of my good traits about me. When I learn new stuff, I get excited, you know? And so, yeah, then I started learning, and research. And then it was my cousin Camille. Hey, girl, she was the one who was like, "Oh, you're taking a little liking to this. You do know there's this thing called YouTube where you can go on there and start looking up people who," because she was showing me people she followed, and I was like, "What's this? No shit about YouTube." And so now she opened up a new world. Now, cut to, my purpose of coming to Maryland was not about makeup. My purpose of coming to Maryland was, believe it or not, I was in school for doing my prerequisites to become a nurse. Because up until this point, my whole life, and this came from the Cosby Show, I was obsessed with becoming an obstetrician. If you watch the Cosby Show, you know. Like, the Cosby was supposed to be my life. I was supposed to be, but the reverse. The Cosby Show is a TV show, 90s TV show, about a family of a husband and wife and their 5 kids. The husband's an obstetrician. The wife is a lawyer. So for me, subtle changes. First thing was, I was going to be obstetrician. My husband was going to be the lawyer. You know? And we was damn sure not having 5 kids. I'm 1 to 5. I would never do that to myself. But we were supposed to have 2 kids. So I was supposed to go to school to become an obstetrician. And then also, too, at the time, as I got older, I really wanted to do it because the older that I got, I also have PCOS. But I also was not getting a menstrual. So I just, as I got older now, I'm like, at this time I'm coming into Maryland, I'm like 18. I am 18. And there's no period in sight. So I'm just like, you know what? There's a chance, because very pessimistic especially, but because this hasn't happened, it might not happen. So it's a good chance I won't be able to have kids. So because of that, at least I could be a part of the kid, bring them to like process the child birthing process at some capacity. So, excuse me, y'all. So that was supposed to be me. Now, cut to get into nurse, the prerequisites of it, because I wasn't nursing. Let me not say I wasn't nursing, because I wasn't. I get into the prerequisites of the nursing, the shebang bang, and it's not hitting. But as I get deeper into school, I am getting more deeper into makeup and my skill set. When I tell y'all, I'm gonna put some pictures up of where I started to where I am today. The growth is crazy. And even just thinking about it, it almost makes me emotional because I've come a long way with doing my, makeup, which I'm so proud of myself. So then it went from that. Then I remember my cousin Camille, who's a teacher. She was like, "Girl, you don't want to be no damn nurse." She ain't say damn because she don't curse, but I do. You don't be no damn nurse. She said, but you do know that you can actually go to cosmetology school and get licensed. And I was like, what? What you say? And so ended up dropping out of college. Now, let me tell you something about Miss Dorothy. She don't play that. She is very much so, that is something her and my mother had in common. Education, education, motherfucking education. And baby, when it was time to have this conversation, I knew could not do it by myself, so I had to go get her daughter, who's my big sis, hey Eb, to help me bring this. And with her help, we was able to get mama to see college wasn't for me. And we made some adjustments to our living arrangements and stuff, but she was still supportive. She wasn't happy, but she was supportive. And I enrolled in cosmetology school. Unfortunately, I did not finish, but I'm not mad, and I'm gonna tell you why. Only reason I'm not mad is because I was enrolled in the Paul Mitchell Cosmetology School, which was bomb. But in this school, I also realized I also didn't finish, if I'm being completely honest, because I'm not gonna lie, the owner of the school, he did not play when it came to attendance. And Shorty was missing, or not missing, I was just coming in too late some of the time, and he was not here for it. So I ended up having to withdraw so I didn't get kicked out. Because you can always go back. So that's something to think about. Wink, wink. But the other thing to it also is, while I was in cosmetology school, I realized that, or it could just be, y'all let me know out there, I don't know, I only went to the Paul Mitchell school. I didn't look up Aveda or any other place. But there's really it wasn't really catered to makeup. Makeup was almost like a workshop. It wasn't really like a curriculum based on makeup, which is what I wanted to do. And so in a sense, it was just like, so I'm not gonna say it was a waste of time, but for me being a makeup artist, wanting to do what I'm doing now, and it was a waste of my time and money at the time. Because cosmetology is more geared towards hair, if that makes sense. Or at least where I was at. So me leaving wasn't the worst. And so now here I am, again, pretty much back to, but I did have a job. I was working where my aunt used to work, where I still work to this day, which is crazy. It's the only job I've had, and I've been there since I was 18. That's another story. And so, yeah. What you call it? Yeah, so I still, had the job. So I wasn't like broke or nothing, or not doing something for myself. So now I'm just like, okay, now I gotta come up with another way I'm gonna be able to do this. So again, Camille, she was like, why don't you become a makeup artist and also do YouTube? I said, what you talking? Who do YouTube? Who do makeup? Who do that? Me? She was like, yeah, why don't you do it professionally? You can do it. Didn't think of it. Never thought about it. I mean, family and friends are going to tell you, oh, it's looking good. You're doing it. You got a skill set. You killing it because they're your family. But that don't mean every time they tell you something that's what you're supposed to be doing professionally. And so I was just taking it as people was just being nice, And then the more I did makeup, I promise y'all, the more I would get compliments from strangers. Now, not to say that my people didn't, big up your girl, because they did. But like I said, it just seems like it was just your friends and your family supposed to do that. They're not going to tell you, you're not good at something, especially if they see you're passionate. But a stranger don't owe me shit. And when I had so many strangers, and I remember, I forget who it was, but came up to me and was like, asking me if I could do her face. And I was like, oh no. And oh no, it wasn't do her face. It was me and my cousin, I forget. I did get offered that a lot, but me and my cousins was in a Sephora. And I'll never forget it. And we just shopping. I'm trying to convince them to get into, because they're darker skin, so I was trying to convince them to get into some color. And I guess through me helping them, a lot of the customers was watching, and when I tell y'all, they were coming to me like I worked in a Sephora. And my cousin, I remember my cousin was like, Shantae, this is what you are meant to do. They was like, you couldn't see it, but the way that I shined, the way I lit up, just help it. Because of course, if I had somebody coming to ask me for help, I was going to help them like I was an employee, even though I wasn't. And I'm helping these women, and my cousin's just like, yeah, this is your calling. And so then I started to become a freelance makeup artist. That's exactly what I did. And I did that for, good Lord, I don't know how long. And then I got connected with certain people, and I really started to take it seriously. And then from there, I started to burn out a little bit creatively because, I don't know. And so then I started to get heavy into YouTube, like watching people and social media. Like I really started to like it. And I'm like, And I remember going back to Camille because she's the one who was like, girl, this is your truth. Be living your truth. So I remember going to her and was like, remember when you said pretty much like when I should do YouTube? And she was like, yeah. I was like, you think I should do it? She was like, absolutely. It makes you happy. And I have a knack for teaching people. She was like, absolutely, you should do it. And so I started to research, more research. A lot of research came into this. Researching. Ooh, we are drying up here. Of stuff that I can get, like equipment. There we go. Of what to do. And then, yeah, we started getting stuff, and the birth of the Beautihood came. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't remember no dates. Because don't get me to lying. But I just remember the timeline for the most part. Yeah. And your girl, here I am, sitting in front of y'all right now doing a beat. And I'm so forever thankful. Like, I can't tell y'all enough. Like, even going through the stuff that I've gone through, and I'm still going through, depression and life, when life be lifing, the one thing, and this is besides like family and my loved ones, but the one thing that actually brings me so much joy is this. I love doing makeup. I'm still toying with doing other people's makeup, but I just love the art of it. I like the release that I get from flexing when I do my makeup, honestly. So yeah. And then it took off pretty much. I've been able to do some amazing things with this gift that I have. What have I done? I've been in a magazine, no editorial, but a magazine before. It's a local one. I've done multiple DC Fashion Week. I live in the DMV, as I mentioned. I've done the Fashion Week for them a couple of times. I've connected with a designer out here. I've done weddings. I've done maternity shoots. I have done I think one of my favorite things I've done so far is the Zeta, it's a sorority, their centennial. They have their centennial celebration, and they had a fashion show, and I was one of the makeup artists. And that one was a beast. When I tell y'all, but it was so fun. So this makeup has taken me to a lot of places. And there's still more places that I want to go with it. But yeah, I am so happy that I am doing and I get to play in this. And then the other thing, and I'm gonna get into that because I'm almost done with this. Another thing that, and I'm gonna just keep bringing home, besides of the faces I've gotten to meet some nice people. and connected with some amazing, beautiful people while doing this. But the biggest takeaway from this is the newfound love from myself. And that's what I'm going to get into next. I'm going to try to not make this video too much longer. But, so before I get into the next part, I'm going to come, because my eyeshadow that I'm going to do has nothing to do with e.l.f. or anything. I'm just going to do that off camera. And I'm going to come back with the finishing touches. And then the only thing I have left to do is a lip. I'll be right back. Where I left off as I put on my beauty marks. And yes, when I do my beauty marks, I use lash glue. It's my little hack. It works. It keeps them on. So fun fact, the only beauty mark that I do have, you can't really see it because I got makeup on it, is the Marilyn Monroe. That is actually mine. But as you can see how muted it is with the makeup. So I just pop on a little bit of glue because this is a thing that works. Some people say, oh, that's too much. Mind your business. You can put on however many you want. I put on however many I like. I like a lot. That one's really big. Okay, mine. Sometimes I go too far. But who cares? It's all fun. Anywho, I'm liking the way this is looking. Last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this e.l.f. This is the monochromatic chrome stick in Luminous Berry. And what I do is I just like tap it. Because it's like it's a monochromatic look. I mean, it's a monochromatic, but it has like, it's like a highlighter blush kind of situation, and I like it a lot. And the pigment is nice. Yeah. You see how that elevates the look? Look at that. And then I take this is turning into be a little one. A nice little thing. And I just take my little brush here. And then I just like to just take this, blend it along the blush. It just gives it a nice little pop. Look at that. So stinking pretty, right? And then I'm gonna go on with my highlight. As the highlight I'm using is this. Okay, so real quick, because I forgot what I was talking about for a second. We're going in with Rose. Just a little tap here. So yeah, in doing makeup, learning of beauty, honestly speaking, the biggest thing, and this is why I love it, and this is why I'm a big advocate for it, is because it helped me learn to love myself. And I know there are some people, it's like, oh my God, it's gonna say, you don't need makeup to be beautiful, you don't need makeup to do. I never said I needed it, and I will never say I need it, because I don't. But what it did do is it helped me learn to love myself, learn to be able to look in the mirror at myself. It helped me identify and finally see that I am beautiful, I am pretty. And no, I don't need makeup to make me feel pretty. I don't. But at the time of me having it and through, developing my skill set, I found the beauty that is me. And I found that it is more than just physical. It's skin deep and all these other things. And then there's another thing for me too is I learned to love my flaws. I am beautifully flawed, and I mean that wholeheartedly. We're just gonna pop on my lip real quick. I am beautifully flawed, and I'm obsessed with the fact that I am. I'm not perfect. I don't want to be. What is this? Oh, dark brown. Oh, this is dark. Oh, hold on, y'all. Even though that is dark, that is cool. You. This is me doing. This is how I do my ombre lip liner. Okay. Oh, itchy nose. So yeah, like I was saying, I learned to love myself. And I will forever be grateful to makeup. I will forever be grateful to my mama. I will be grateful. And it's learning this found beauty of myself that's always been there. I can now truly appreciate what my god sisters were doing for me when I was too young to get it. So I'm saying, like, I have learned to love myself on a level that I would have never, ever. I don't know if I would have. Let me not say never ever. I would have. Don't know if I would have gotten to this point without makeup. Gonna go into this Morphe. Ooh, that's so pretty. This is their Mauve Flash. And then you already know the last bit, the very last bit. I don't do nothing without my Ruby Kiss Maximizer. This is my favorite lip plumper. And she just eats. Okay, my beauty. So, finished look. I just wanted to end it on a note of saying that thank you so much, like I said, for rocking with me. I appreciate it so much. I thank you so much for spending this last 40-some minutes with me, because it means a lot. But I also want to end on a note for anybody who out there who was inspired by this, who was thinking about diving into makeup. Do it because you want to do it, for whatever your reason is, whether it's because you want to feel more beautiful, if you want to cover up something, you want to enhance something, that's your reasoning. And that is something that I had to learn, especially in the society we live in today, where people love to bring other people down. And I'm a person of celebrating happiness. And so if makeup makes you happy and you've been apprehensive up until this point to do it, please look at my story as a testimony, as your sign to just do it. Just do it. I promise you, you won't regret it. For me, it has opened up a new perspective of how I look at myself. And like I said before, I'm going to say it again, I no longer need it. I don't need makeup at all. I've never needed it. But in a sense of, like, I have to have it on, but I did need it so that I can see the beauty that is me. And I love that for me. And I want that for you. So with that being said, I do also want to say that makeup, for me, in my strongest belief, is it should enhance, never cover up. Don't cover up anything about yourself, because we are all equally beautiful, and our beauty is our own. And so that's enough of me chit-chatting. I want to say thank you, my beauties. Thank you so much. As always, remember, true beauty is limitless. Stay beautiful and be kind. Until next time, my beauties. Bye, y'all.